Hello everyone. In this video we're going to take a look and listen to what's going to happen during the siege of Orgrimmar. Please keep in mind that this information is from the PTR and should be treated as such. Not all information is available at this time, but let's see how far we can go, shall we? Garrosh has made himself a target for both the Alliance and the Horde, and in 5.3 Vol'jin took the first step with the Darkspear Rebellion. Now the time has come to kick Garrosh out of the mantle of warchief and lay siege to Orgrimmar. The story however begins in Pandaria, in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms.
Oh, what has become of the Vale? The land is scarred. The ever-blooming trees and plants wither and die. Joe, the outsiders, they did this. We should never have let them in.
Garrosh has used the sacred waters of the Vale to revive the dormant heart of Y'Shaarj. This heart was in the container that we found during the scenario Dark Heart of Pandaria. This act has corrupted the Vale, corrupted the water and destroyed the Golden Pagoda. This act was such an act of arrogance that it gave the Shah of Pride the power needed to manifest, and the 7th Shah has arrived.
It is these waters that kept the Vale in bloom. Their runoff into the Valley of the Four Winds created the most fertile farmland in the world. And now, the malignance of the old god has manifested itself within the waters. Such a foul, foul thing. Destroy it before it seeps deep into the soil and corrupts all of Pandaria.
We set out to clean up after Garrosh, otherwise all of Pandaria will eventually suffer. The raid starts in the Pools of Power, which is in an unearthed lower section of Mogu'shan Palace in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. We first fight Immersus, an unnatural embodiment of the Vale's sorrow, which manifested from the corrupted waters. After that we take on the souls of the fallen protectors of the Golden Lotus and the Shadow Pen. Rook Stonetoe, Yi Softfoot and Sun Tenderheart lives were taken by the blast that scarred the Vale. But the corruption has not only taken their lives, it also has taken their souls, and it is now tormenting them eternally by forcing them to relive their failure.
This is a fate far worse than death. Please, heroes, set their souls free. Be at peace, dear friends. May your souls become one with the land you gave your life to protect.
Once you've granted them the peace of death, we encounter Neuroshen, the Titanic Watcher who was watching the container of Y'Shaarj. We don't fight him directly, instead he's actually helping us.
Should you pass this door at this time, you would fail. You, all of you, are corrupted with the insidious plague known as pride. You stand tall and proud atop your accomplishments, and this will be your downfall. Should you wish to defeat the corruption, you will first need to purify the corruption within yourselves.
Once our corruption is cleansed, it's time for the Shah of Pride encounter, who is spawned in the chamber where we first found the container.
Beware of pride. Be humble.
Neuroshen will assist us in the battle by gifting us with the power of the Titans. That is until the Shah reaches 30% health. At that point he will unleash and instantly kill Neuroshen, and at that point we have to face him on our own.
A Pandaran legend is born. Sing praises to our new hero.
The land is saved and it will heal in time. Now it's time to take out the orc responsible for this mess. A couple of you already asked me how can we siege Orgrimmar while the Horde still needs it as a capital city. The way that they're going to do it is that the raid will be instant. There will be changes on the outside, like both sides getting ready for the siege or Zila flying around on a drake, but overall it will be done inside an instance, and the next change to Orgrimmar will be the aftermath of the siege. We start the siege from the Bladefist Bay, where the Alliance and the Horde fleet are trying to reach the land.
You heroes are a sight for sore eyes. Vol'jin's rebellion wasn't able to secure the bay. We're taking a pounding. Once the area is clear, we'll make landfall. Champions, I'm counting on you.
Well done. The 1st Brigade has made landfall. We should repurpose the shore defenses. Heroes, take the towers! Turn the guns onto that proto-drake and blast it from the sky. Some of you will need to stay behind to hold the beachhead.
Fools! These docks are under Dragonmaw control! Your ships will burn, and you with them!
I see the Dragonmaw have thrown in their lot with Garrosh. My arrows alone cannot bring that monstrosity down. Ugh. Bring her down quick! so I can wrap my fingers around her neck.
We've done it. We'll hold the docks for the remaining landing parties. Follow the path to the gates of Orgrimmar and make contact with Vol'jin and his revolutionaries.
The Darkspear Rebellion was unable to secure the bay, and Warlord Zila, the Dragonmaw and her Protodrake are the next targets to take out. Now this is not just any Protodrake, this is Galagras, the last blood of Galagrond, and Galagrond is the biggest and most badass Protodrake in the history of Protodrakes. Lore-wise, there's an interesting discussion that takes place between Sylvanas and Lor'themar.
I can raise your dead, Regent Lord. Your rangers can fight again.
Sylvanas, you will leave our corpses alone, or I will deal with you here and now.
I'm sorry to see your lack of commitment. What of the human corpses?
Well, I suppose that's between you and the Alliance, isn't it?
Rise, my angels. Let your screams fill the streets of Orgrimmar with terror.
The Dark Lady is becoming more like her creator each passing day. Some of you who already heard the sound files commented that these four might actually die.
Where is this blood coming from?
Anduin.
What you need to keep in mind is that they also need to record sound files in case you wipe, and I highly doubt that they will kill off these four very important characters. It doesn't sound like they've recorded the death of Warlord Zila, or at least I couldn't find one, so it's very possible that she survives this encounter. Either way, the bay is secure, let's head to the gates where the Iron Juggernaut awaits.
They must have taken the docks. Ha ha! Welcome to the fields of slaughter.
Don't think we're here to save you, troll. We're here for Kalimdor.
Tyrande, they be heroes. No doubt about that.
Get forces inside the gates, while we distract the enemy.
After the Iron Juggernauts, we get the Kor'kron Dark Shaman encounter, who have replaced Garrosh in the throne room. These two Dark Shamans are called Harom and Kargis Dreamseeker, who both have been shaman trainers for a very long time. The difference between normal shamans and dark shamans is that shamans ask the elements for their aid. Dark shamanism forces the elements into servitude, twisting them into burned out ash, corrupted waters and toxic air. They now stand together with Garrosh, and I would feel sorry about losing them, was it not for this little sound file.
G must be in here somewhere. I have to find him.
Have anything to say for yourself, Pandaren? Do you see this burning candle? You have until it burns out to tell us about the Pandaren artifacts. Now, start talking!
Oh no, G! They are going to execute him. They've practically beaten him unconscious. I have to do something.
Very well. If you won't talk, you won't need your head anymore.
G! No! I will kill you!
For the true Horde! For Hellscream!
Oh, G, I am so sorry. We can be together now. Please, let us just go back to the turtle. Please do not die. I am getting him out of here.
There's an achievement where you have the option to rescue G Firepaw and cage prisoners during this encounter. I have to say, this sound file is truly heartbreaking, man. I wonder if they'll actually stay with the Horde and the Alliance, or if they'll go back to the turtle and just forget all about this mess. Anyways, next we face an orc so loyal that you would almost wish that you could spare him.
Oh, hello, friends. We've just about secured the surface. It looks like the real fight's going to be down here. Don't worry, we've got your back. Forge ahead, brave heroes!
I may be bruised and beaten, but the hatred boils inside me. Many times have I fallen at the hands of an orc, and many times have I risen again, but never again. For every orc that struck me, I will cleave 1,000 of their skulls. This ends here. I, Gammon, will save us. You are an honorable orc, Nazgrim. I regret what I must do.
I die with honor. Loktar Ogar. Garmin, you have finally learned. I am proud to have died at your hands for the Horde.
You fought with honor. Gammon will ensure that your legacy lives on. For the Horde, my friend.
General Nazgrim is the first encounter that we face underground. Nazgrim will hold the line for his warchief until his dying breath. You can hear from the sound files that Gammon joins the fight and he emerges victorious. This is also an achievement. He can also die in the fight, and this caused some of you to say that he will actually die for good. More often than not, if they implement a possibility of a character surviving, then as far as the lore goes and the story goes, he survives for good. Now the next encounters are not really lore heavy, or not all information is available yet.
Brothers! Over here. The warchief ignored my counsel. I discovered he was building a compound beneath the caverns of Ragefire. Thrall and Sourfang have already gone down below. Go with caution. Hellscream has been assembling an arsenal down there. Goblin mercenaries, Pandaren artifacts, and some sort of darkness I can feel in my very soul.
Melkorok is of course loyal to Garrosh, and he received a power-up from Garrosh in the form of a little bit of the power of Yashiraj.
Ah, more of Vol'jin's revolutionaries. You've made it. Have you found Thrall? I am badly hurt. He insisted on going ahead alone. Tell me, how goes the battle up above? What of Nazgrim? Speak to me. Ah, Nazgrim. A great leader and a fine warrior. He valued his oath to the warchief more than his life. I tried to tell him that Hellscream betrayed us, cast aside a warchief's responsibility to his own people. But Nazgrim, too loyal, too proud. Damn Hellscream. His ambition tore our horde apart. Go on, find Thrall. Finish this. I will live.
The Spoils of Pandaria encounter, at this time there's very little known about it. In fact, they just raid tested it this night. From what I saw, it was a bunch of crates with Spoils of Pandaria in it, like Mogu, Quillen and animus robots that we've seen before. Tok the Bloodthirsty looks like a dinosaur pet Garrosh found on the Isle of Giants. Interesting in this encounter is that you have the option to free some of the prisoners Garrosh took from Pandaria. You have Akulik and his Saurok, who will invoke the Order of Cross. You have Waterspeaker Gorai with his Jinyu, who will heal you, and you have Warmaster Montauk and his Yongul, who will grant you fire powers. I think it's brilliant to see the NPCs from Pandaria who we interacted with, who we've quested with, that they're now part of the siege back in Kalimdor. I thought this was a really nice touch.
The beast be slain! Garrosh be concealing a whole hidden base. Where did his lust for power take him?
We will soon find out. He is cornered like a rat in one of these corridors. What should we do next?
Bane, you and your warriors hold this junction. These heroes should forge ahead and flush the warchief out of hiding.
What about you?
People be dying up above. The city is in chaos. I'm gonna finish it. Stop the bloodshed. I'll come back for ya.
Very well. Earth Mother protect you, Vol'jin.
It's gonna be fine, Bane. We're gonna find Thrall. Gonna kill the warchief. Gonna avenge your father. Dark Spear never die.
Our casualties are too heavy.
Ain't no other way, man. We gotta stop Garrosh here and now. Else we'll be running the rest of our lives.
Siegecrafter Blackfuse was the only goblin with the combination of engineering skills, professionalism and ruthlessness to satisfy Garrosh in his search for the engineer of the true Horde. Besides that, he doesn't really add much to the lore.
Ugh, that was a fun ride. Heroes, I salute you. Ooh, that looks dangerous. Get in there, boys, and show him what we're made of. A right deadly machine that is. Best watch your step down here, heroes.
The Paragons of the Cluxy encounter is, as the name suggests, us fighting against our old buddies, the Paragons. Garrosh has resurrected Yashiraj, and as they said,
I tell you now, because you have earned this warning. If the Old Ones ever return, we Mantid will once again stand by their side. The wisest among you will do the same.
They've warned us at the very beginning that if Y'Shaarj would ever walk this earth again, they would stand at their side, and so they do. This thus created a couple of questions. For example, why did we attack the Shah of Fear if the Mantid served the old god? This is because the Shah of Fear was merely a byproduct of Y'Shaarj's last breath. It also took complete control over the Mantid Queen and acted against what was best for the Mantid. This is why the Klaxi came into action, and if it truly would have been Y'Shaarj, then there's no doubt in my mind that they would have stood at his side. The second question is, do we kill the Paragon off? Now I couldn't find a source, but apparently they snap out of it once they reach 1% health. This indicates that Y'Shaarj has control over them, much like the Mantid Queen had control over the lesser Mantid. It makes sense. After all, they were created by Y'Shaarj, so it would make sense that he has some control over them. Now for the main event, Garrosh Hellscream. For those who haven't seen what he looks like, first we have the updated orc model, which hopefully will be used for all orcs in the future.
Hellscream's eyes are upon you. You will serve the Horde, or be crushed beneath it. Only the strongest may dwell in Orgrimmar.
But this isn't even his final form. Here's his final form.
Live by these words. Loktar Ogar. Victory or death.
Look at that, man. Look at those eyes on his shoulders. Look at his shoulder pads, the bones of Manoroth. It's gloriously beautiful. Look at it. It's awesome. Before we jump to conclusions and say that he's corrupted by old gods, it has been confirmed that Garrosh is not corrupted. He is using the power of the old god as a weapon, which is pretty damn impressive if you ask me, but it's not like he's infused with demon blood and he's a slave to somebody else their will. As far as the lore goes as we know today, Garrosh is doing this because Garrosh wants to do it. There's a conversation between Thrall and Garrosh.
It is not too late, Garrosh. Lay down the mantle of warchief. We can end this here, now, with no more bloodshed. Ha! Do you remember nothing of honor, of glory on a battlefield? You who would parley with the humans, who allowed warlocks to practice their dark magics right under our feet. You are weak. We are the Orcish Horde, the true Horde. We die, bloody and thrashing on the field of battle, like true orcs should. You are an orc no longer, and speak for none but yourself. You betrayed our people to forge your fragile alliances, and I will take great pleasure in tearing them apart.
Then you have forced my hand. I will correct the mistake I made long ago. Spirits of the wind, the earth, the water, hear my call! Come to my aid!
Fool! My dark shaman have twisted and tortured the elements for miles around. They cannot hear you now. Once again, you prove too weak and powerless to do anything.
Never powerless, Garrosh. And never alone.
When it comes to tactics, Garrosh is no fool. So how does he get this purple look? Well, this is what I understand from the dungeon journal. Throughout the fight, Garrosh will teleport himself and the raid to the realm of Y'Shaarj, and that sounds a little bit like this.
I can taste the essence of your soul. It is sweet. All should bow before you. Make them. You should kill them all. You must kill them all.
Nightmarish, man. God, I love it. During that time, he absorbs energy from the heart of Y'Shaarj, and this could be what will slowly transform him. Another possibility is that at 30% he will go full out and absorb every little bit of energy from Y'Shaarj. And in my mind, it's more likely that at this point 30% health is where he becomes this infused demon orcish hulking god. Fuck, it's awesome. Interesting to note though is that Garrosh leaves Gorhal behind and finds you with a weapon that I have a very hard time with pronouncing. Zal-Ato, desecrated image of Gorhal. Is this not just Gorhal but corrupted? Well, it could be, but listen to this sound file.
Look here! He left his weapon behind. This means he's completely unhinged.
Gorehowl.
This sounds to me like he abandoned the real Gorehowl, and this might not seem like much, but this was the weapon of his father, his lost connection to his father. This is the weapon that has slain Cenarius. This is the weapon that had freed the orcs from their lives of slaves as it killed Manoroth. But Garrosh just carelessly tossed it aside and he embraces his newfound powers. He has truly forsaken everything he once was. And that's as far as the lore goes. How does it end, you might ask? Well, that's not public yet, which is, in my opinion, amazing. We don't even know for certain if Garrosh actually will die. It does sound like it, but it's not 100% guaranteed. We do have a small clue to the ending of the game, and this clue is given by Rephion.
You were there! Is it true, then? What happened in Orgrimmar? That fool king. I did everything in my power. The whole world was his. He needed only seize it. Oh, sure, another year of fighting, enormous casualties trying to take Thunder Bluff, but the rest of the Horde would have caved eventually. Tong! Drink! Now! What? Yes, I was backing the Alliance. I thought Hellscream's victory was assured before he turned half of his Horde against him. So I changed my allegiance. Oh, don't look so surprised. I'm a black dragon. My loyalties are my own. But that idiot Rin, High King indeed. Why did he allow another warchief? He could have united the world under the Alliance banner. What a fool I was to trust his ambition. Should have taken over the throne room myself, like Auntie Onyxia. Get things done. I promise you this. I will stop at nothing to prepare this world for the battle to come. Next time, I will leave nothing to chance. Nothing!
I'm not going to judge this. We've been discussing this on the AU forums, which has been a lot of fun, but I'll hold my final judgment until it's actually live and we know all the information. What I do want to say about it is that Rephion had a plan which involved playing both factions, which shouldn't come to a surprise to those of you who've seen more of my videos. When you judge his behavior in that sound file, keep in mind that although he speaks like a grown man, he is only a couple of years old, so he's really still an infant. And this infant is tasting failure for the first time, which doesn't excuse it what he's done, this doesn't excuse what he's saying, but it's just to give a little bit of context. Speaking of Rephion, he will imbue your cloak with his own draconic powers in the next part of the legendary questline. This will be done after you face the 4 August Celestials on the Timeless Isle, a new island that was not covered by mists, but by time itself. Nearly every NPC we met throughout Pandaria has made his way to the island, and even Anduin has recovered enough to visit. What we still need to find out is, how will it all end? Will it be Vol'jin who shoots the arrow that pierces Garrosh's heart? Or will Garrosh somehow walk away? Why is Varian letting the Horde off the hook, and how is Jaina going to react to that? Who will be the new warchief, and what is Rephion going to do next? Still a lot of questions, but from what I've seen so far, it looks like an amazing raid with amazing encounters and amazing mechanics. Nearly every leader on both sides are present, a couple of NPCs that we've seen in the past, and all kinds of good stuff. I truly hope that the ending will be great, but we'll just have to wait to find out. Thank you all very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll release an update video if any news is released from the PTR, like for example who will be the new warchief. If I find out, I'll let you guys know as soon as possible. Subscribe if you like my videos. And until next time guys, see ya!